right now you're manifesting your specific person and you're not even realizing it. So yes, what I'm saying is all you have to do today is watch this video and you'll be infinitely closer to your specific person. But let me not just say this, let me actually explain it. So in manifestation, we understand and know that there's no such thing as the past or the future. They're all just illusions or aspects of the current moment right here and right now. So if you clicked on this video and had the intention that you were going to be with your specific person at some point in the future, then it means since there is no future, you're just changing an aspect of what you are feeling right here and right now. Meaning the assumption that you're already going to be with them means you have to assume the state now. Because if I were to ask you, at what point in your life have you ever felt or lived in the past or in the future, you would say absolutely never, right? You've only ever experienced or lived right here and right now. So by changing your mind, by clicking on this video, you are in some sense in the wish fulfilled state. But I can even explain this even more so. Imagine if you were to win $1 million. You won $1 million in the lottery, or your best friend gave you $1 million and they wrote you a check for it, and you took it to the bank and they told you, okay, we can definitely put this in your bank account, but it's going to take about 1 to 2 weeks in order for this to occur. How would you feel upcoming to your money coming into your bank account? You would say you would be really happy. You would feel really wealthy. You'd be really excited. It wouldn't take until the moment that the money actually went into your bank account in order for you to feel that way. So, in that same sense, if you are watching this video with the intention of being with your specific person, you've technically already created it because your higher self has already done absolutely everything. You are already one with your manifestation, and watching this video is just taking you a step closer to that outcome. But this idea is further established with the concept that you're not actually ever creating something in your reality. I know that sounds strange because we would say to ourselves, and you probably heard it here, that we are creators of our reality, and you are, but creation is not technically the word that we want to use in this sense. You are just discovering an aspect of yourself in the same way that when you go to the grocery store, you don't technically have to create the grocery store in order to show up there. It's already made, it's already done, you just go there. And that's the same thing when it comes to states. Your specific person manifestation is already done. You are already with your specific person in the same way that you've already done literally everything. You're every single name you could imagine. You're every single career. You're literally everyone, every hobby. You've manifested and been with everyone on earth, which I know might sound surprising right now, but that's the truth of the matter. It is already done. And if you're a Neville Goddard fan, it's just the concept of I amness. So when you say I am, that's your state of consciousness. And your state of consciousness is the root of your higher self. Because right now, whether you are your name or whatever career, whatever thing that you think describes you isn't necessarily you, because all of that is alterable. You could be a different name. If I asked you who you are, like I mentioned actually in a previous video, you would say your name, your career, your address. You would give me all that stuff, but that's not who you are. You are your state of consciousness. So who you think you are at this current moment is a small sliver of the unlimited possibilities that you could be. It's actually best to relate your I amness or your state of consciousness to your God state or the God individual, because God can be absolutely everything at any given time. It can never be separated from something. So whenever you defined or describe something about yourself, you have to define and describe it about God as well. So if you say that you can't do something, you're saying God can't do something. If you ever say it's hard to be with your specific person, what you're saying is it's hard for God to be with your specific person, because that's you, and you are basically the realization of all the powers that are running through you from your higher self, from your conscious state. Another way to think of it is, as a kid, if you think of your consciousness, it never actually dwindles. Think back to your 8-year-old self looking in the mirror. You would say the reflection has changed, but the state of consciousness that was actually viewing yourself in the mirror has not changed at all. It's the same. It never gets tired. It never ages. It never dwindles in any way whatsoever. Now, our egos and our sense of self have changed drastically, but that just means that this isn't a permanent aspect of ourselves and we can always change it. In the same way, you've probably heard the phrase that if it feels good, then it's true, and if it doesn't feel good, then it's not true. And that's the same sense that's happening right now. Anything that feels good means it's true of you because it's true of your God state, and your God state is good, and all abundant. There's never a lack of anything when it comes to your God state. So that's the same thing with you. So to bring this all together, remember that watching this video then in essence is proof that you are meant to be with your specific person. You intended by watching this video to imagine a state of you in the future that is already with your specific person, but there is no future that ever takes place. So it's just an aspect of you right now that's with your specific person. And in essence, then you are already in the wish fulfilled state, and you could leave this video and literally do whatever you wanted because the fact of watching this actually creates that aspect. And to further showcase this, because I know a lot of people are probably thinking, yeah, but what about our thoughts? Don't thoughts create or mess up our manifestation? What if I'm thinking negative right now? But no, thoughts do not manifest. Your state of being does. And I know the last time I actually said that in a video, I had someone comment, yes, thoughts do manifest, but no, thoughts are just a reflection of the self. And I know law of attraction talks about thoughts, but a truer sense of what's happening is your sense of being and the law of assumption. What you are being is manifesting. You've thought negative things before, but they didn't happen, right? You could think of countless times in which you thought something negative or even thought something positive and neither of them happened. But what is truly happening all around you? And you would say, constantly, my state of being is reflecting around me. But in order to prove this in that sense, I'm actually going to include a success story that shows just that. So this is a message that someone sent me, or a few messages someone sent me recently today from a success in their coaching. And they wrote, she replied and then just called me. We had a lovely conversation, state change for the win. Because in essence, we were talking about this same idea that thoughts aren't going to manifest, and we already have everything we could ever want. Because this person was in kind of a break with their specific person. They were in no contact, and they were really worried about it. They were having anxiety. They were having fears. Just imagine what you would be feeling if you were having those same sorts of fears. But in the same way that you're using this video in that way to basically assume the state and as if you already had it, or basically create the intention of being with your specific person, they used the coaching session in that same way. I was able to bring them back to the state of desire, of love, of abundance, of being with their specific person. And then that's literally what manifested. And that was 24 hours after our call. That was within 24 hours of the state change happening. So if they can do it and it's only within a day, then you can absolutely do it too. And with all of this being said, affirm it in the comment section. Write down the affirmation, I am watching this video, so I am meant to be with my specific person, or something along those lines. And if you did have any other questions, make sure to comment them down below as well. Remember, you can also reach out to me on my website at kyleaugustcoaching.com if you wanted to send me a personal message, a personal question, or a personal success. As always, I just wanted to make this quick video describing this, showing you that again, you already have your manifestation within you and you are able to discover it right here and right now. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for liking the video. Thank you so much for subscribing, and I'll see you in my next video tomorrow.